go racing. 20 minutes shortly underway. It's Ray Malek on pole who gets a good start. The Chris Drake forward in the middle. The Silver 33 has a bit of a stutter but does eventually get going. But I think it's Ray Malek who makes the best of the start. So I think we've had a bit of a staller further back. And our pit lane starter does get going with the help of a little bit of a push. Chris Drake now trying to get back up to speed. But it's Malek who was away and well from pole position, chased by the orange Stuart Roach car, the Alexis Ford. Further back, we've got the number 10 car. That is the Stanguellini of Michael Gans trying to find his way through into the top 5. But a fairly clean start then from our Formula Junior races.
Yeah, very keen. A couple starters did slow to get away. Mark Woodhouse did need a push to get going. He's already caught up the back of the pack, but yeah, dreadful start.
Oh, car off as well. That is the number 33.
Hopefully he's going to filter back on nicely then. Oh, and another number 10. Michael Gans has spun around as well. And now the number 8, Alex Morton. So I wonder if they've come together because they were in close proximity to each other on the circuit. So frustration. And the number 33 of Chris Drake as well. He was fighting at the
sharp end.
Yeah, he was.
Well, it wasn't a good start for our second place man, Chris Drake, but then he did manage to get back up and going, and it was a fairly clean start until we got about halfway around the lap. So cars spinning off everywhere you look, but everyone's still trying to carry on going. Up front, it is these two. It is the green Formula Junior car, the number 32 of Ray Malek up front, being hunted down by the all-orange number 12 of Chris Drake. And they've kind of detached away from everybody else. They've kept it clean. They've kept it pointing in the same direction as they finish lap 1 and start lap number 2 of this 20-minute race already. The clock ticking down through up into turn 1 and Matchwick corner they go, which will then bring them through to Ford Water. And I think it's certainly the number 12 catching very, very quickly of Roach. And is that the number 10 again going on?
Yeah, whether he's maybe reversed back to restart possibly. Got stuck on the grass, needed maybe a little bit of a push from the marshals, but that's really disappointing. So had not a bad start from him, and as I said, he's had a taste of these conditions already, albeit they were a little bit slippier. So disappointing from him, but the battle now at the front between the 32 car of Ray Malek and number 12 of Stuart Roach in the orange car, looking fairly racing. Difference of lines as well, Harry. We've seen this through the other classes as well. So either a difference in driving style, it wouldn't be wet lines now because the track's looking fairly dry, or a style of driving the car, how the car handles.
Quite possibly, but Roach is not relenting here on the back of Malek. He absolutely wants to take the lead, and is this where he does? He gets alongside and makes it look all too easy as Roach in the number 12, the all-orange Formula Junior car, gets up into P1 spot. The Alexis Ford Mark II makes its way through the lead of this race, and that is a huge drop of a pace, it suddenly seems, for the number 32. Perhaps it just couldn't hold it back. And just looking further down the list as well, Woodhouse from the pit lane up into 20th already, so cutting through the field. But it looks like Malek now, Roach I should say, is starting to pull away.
Yeah, so Malek was looking over in his mirrors, so I wonder if there was an issue. So there's a replay now.
Oh, they missed the braking?
So Michael Gans, like, just lose it. And a car comes across the front of him, and I think he backs out of the power. Hard to see if there was contact. And obviously, once you have that lift of power away, he went. Well, maybe we'll see a little bit better here. And was it so unfortunate for the number 8 car, just avoiding, and then once he was on that slippery grass, he was pretty much a passenger spinning round. So very unfortunate for the number 8 car of Alex Morton.
Yeah, that's the Condor Ford going round on the grass there, and this was the move for the lead then, and Roach taking Malek. Malek, who started on pole in the green U2 Ford, but now Stuart Roach in the Alexis Ford all-orange number 12 Formula Junior racer, getting up into P1 spot. But can he hold it? This is Malek now coming back, and is he going to make his way through? He is in nearly the exact same spot as when Roach got through the first time.
So it's a very long straight out from Lavant Corner, so they're very flat out all the way down to Woodcote, so it's very useful to get a tow there. So obviously that's what's going on. These are small cars, so you can quite easily slot in behind and make a benefit of the tow. So we saw this in a couple of the races yesterday, similar position going down into Woodcote, so keep swapping every lap. So I expect we're going to see something similar now as they've caught up to the back of Michael Gans, who unfortunately is about to go a lap down.
What is so fascinating as well is the difference in shape and design of these cars. You know, look at, I mean, number 10 is becoming a back marker, but the front two, who are neck and neck really at the moment, super different. You've got the number 32 green U2 Ford, quite a boxy looking car with a cylindrical end, and then you've got the number 12 all orange Terrier Ford, the number 12, which is a lot more curved, but still has a little bit of a squaring off at the front, but the back end totally different.
Yeah, so actually looking at the speed traps, Harry, eagle-eyed racing driver, we like to know our speed traps. They keep swapping by about a good 5 miles an hour as we see him trying to slide down into the inside there. So whoever's the lead car is about 5 to 10 miles an hour slower than the person who's in second place. As there we have the number 33, Chris Drake, really disappointing as he saw Rally tripping in. So watch this now. So we'll see if he gets a really nice toe down into Woodcote. And carbon copy really in the speed trap difference there this time through sector 2 was 5 mile an hour. So I think this is going to be a story of the race potentially, unless one person makes a mistake and the lead driver can get away. Well,
that's what it's going to be, isn't it? Will there be a mistake, or will we get this until the very last lap, and then it will be on that last lap where it really matters which car can get in front using the slipstream. But for now, Roach and Malik just playing very nicely up front. Further back as well, just keeping an eye on our friend Mark Williams in the number 2 Elva. Started from the pit lane, had a push start. He has made it all the way up into 12th place at the moment, so managed to get through a bit of the carnage early doors, but is absolutely storming through. And considering he qualified originally 8th on the grid, he's got a lot of pace.
Yeah, he does. So he'll be really disappointed that he had to start from the pit lane. His lap times aren't too bad, seeing he's going through lots of traffic. The field is sort of spread with pace, and we see him on the screen there, the number 2 car. So he's coming under a little bit of pressure, not too much from the number 8 car of Alex Morton. So he's done a great job to filter through the field and stay out of trouble as well.
Yeah, that's the Condor Ford that is chasing him down at the moment, designed and built in 1960, and currently, did go under a huge restoration back in 2015 to restore that car to its proper period spec. Raced here, though, back in April of 1960 at Goodwood, so has a long history of racing around this track as they manage the traffic. That's the number 59 of Woodbridge, just very nicely getting out of the way, but this battle rages on. Let's take a look at this battle for 4th, and heading that up at the moment is the number 5 car. It looks like the Lola Ford Mark II of Robin Longdon, who's being chased down by Fleming in the number 3 Lola Ford. Again, a huge difference of line.
Yeah, huge difference of line, and also trying to get the toe as well as they come through Woodcote corner. Now heading down to the chicane to see some taking a slightly tighter line, maybe not having to use all the road where they don't need to, shortening the distance. But you'll see now, number 3 car will tuck in right under the number 5 car, trying to get the toe, maybe also trying to break the toe from the car behind. Is he going to pull up alongside and brave it into turn 1? Not quite.
Beautiful colour as well, that number 3 Justin Fleming Lola Ford driven car, the number 3, originally a works car, and has finished in the Formula Junior Championship at the sharp end, 2nd in 2014, 1st in 2017 and 2020, and runner-up last year too. So constantly at the sharp end, battling for 4th at the moment. And once again, we have a change for leader after 5 laps of this race. The number 32 goes to the front, but under braking, it's the all-orange car, the number 12 of Malik, who makes his way back through.
What a move. Just, I thought, is he going to get it stopped? Is he, because if you touch that grass, you're round, as we've seen already. But fantastic driving there from road. Just managed to get it stopped, but now he's going to come under severe pressure heading down into turn 1.
Yeah, these two started 1st and 3rd. The pole sitter was the green number 32 car, now finds himself behind the number 12 car of Roach, but they've got a bit of traffic up in front of them. How much is this going to hinder Roach and Malik? The 93 car of Rudolph Ernst gets nicely out of the way in the Mitter DK WM60, and they can carry on battling, but it's the slipstream use on the back straight, which is where we've been seeing the overtaking moves, chopping and changing pretty much every single lap of this race so far. But was that the decisive move that may well seal Roach the win? We shall see. We've still got over 10 minutes left. He managed to brake much later down the inside and just kept the momentum through.
Yeah, fantastic piece of driving there, full of confidence down the inside. We've actually been seeing him taking the tighter line compared to Malik, so something that he's used to. Maybe he's been ironing up for now, maybe for the past couple of laps, and getting used to driving on that line to when he wanted to make the charge. But using the toe, Malik's back on the back of him, and again he's going to make the charge into Woodcote. Let's see now if Roach is going to try and dive back down the inside. Maybe not. Looks a little bit too far away. Lock up at the front wheel. He's trying it. No, too far away.
Oh, a bit of frustration there coming through for Roach, who we think made a bit of a mistake coming into the Lavant, which allowed the number 32 of Malik to get back in front. But how much longer will he stay there? This is an absolutely brilliant battle for the top 2 spots of this race. And then they're kind of finding themselves a bit detached, really. It's Waterfield in the number 24 who finds himself in 3rd at the moment. Tom Waterfield in the Hillwood Formula Junior car. More traffic for our leaders, though, to deal with. This time it's the Nota BMC Formula Junior of Mark Haynes. He gets nicely out of the way. They continue on racing. Woodhouse Watch, he's still down in 12. So he's got about 6 seconds to find to get another spot to Morton if he wants to continue making up his positions. But a great effort so far from the pit lane.
So, I don't know, Malik's maybe got a problem. He's very slow into St Mary's there, which is strange. He's been really hanging on to it through there in previous laps. So I'm not sure, maybe he's got a slight issue. He maybe got boxed in by the traffic. He doesn't look too flustered. So let's look at the previous. Oh, just running. So lucky. Slightly wide there by Roach, which then clearly would allow Malik to get back onto the back. But let's keep an eye on Malik to see if he has got an issue. Well, he seems to be back, so maybe he just got boxed in with the traffic, and that's what could decide this race, Harry, is there's a lot of traffic coming up now. Okay, we've still got 8 minutes left to go, but there's a lot of traffic in front. If you get caught it wrong, I mean, look at this. The blue flags are out, waving. Drivers do need to get out of the way. So, but they're also fighting their own race as well, so it's very difficult. But you can see hand signals from those getting lapped, which is really nice to see, as to point of which side the drivers, all very respectful. Yeah,
you can see actually Malik had to just sort of hang back before getting into the chicane just to manage the traffic. But we've got a car pulling off. That is the Scorpion, the number 17 of Stefan Ray, who was in 7th spot, pulling off. So that great battle, I think, for 4th, which involved him at the time. He looks like he is down and out of this race, and still leading, though, number 12 of Roach in the orange Formula Junior car, extending that gap 1.2 seconds now as they try to negotiate the traffic, and they have got a huge distance to 3rd place Waterfield, nearly 30 seconds. They really are in a league of their own for sure, aren't they? But I expect, yeah, you say there's a 1.2 seconds gap, but I will really expect Malik to close that down with the power of the toe down these very long and fast straights for these cars especially. So this is where we'll see it being most effective. So let's see how quickly Malik closes, and you can visibly see the benefit of getting the toe there, making sure you're tucked into that streamline effect. But we've seen that the Roach is very, very good on the brakes here. So either that's a car difference between the two, or just Roach has just got this braking nailed into Woodcote. It's very tricky because you need to get all your hard braking done in a straight line. Otherwise, you'll see, as we saw earlier, some front locking of the brakes. A little check of the mirrors there from Roach. Well, as the battle for the lead continues, Woodhouse Watch from the pit lane. He was up to 12th, but he has just fallen all the way down to 26th. So perhaps a problem then for the number 2 Elva BMC. Such a shame for Mark Woodhouse, who had originally qualified 8th, had to start from the pit lane, made himself so many positions up into 12th place, and now looks like he's fallen down and out from this race. So sad to see that. We've lost a few in this Threlfall Cup race, the front engine Formula Junior races from between 1958 and 1960. We're looking at the 2nd place car at the moment, the number 32 U2 Ford, with in the hands of Ray Malik, who was trying to get back 1st place. He started from pole, but the number 12 of Roach has stolen it away from him. They were chopping and changing the lead using the slipstream on the back straight, but Well, then here's the example of it. This time, can Malik find a way through? Late on the brakes down the inside, but can he get it turned in? Looks like he's done it well in time for the corner, and it is Malik back through for the lead.
Yeah, so I wonder what Roach's approach will be to this bit. Whether he just thinks coming into the final sort of 4 minutes of this race, whether he thinks, well, do you know what, I'm going to let you lead for the last lap. So then I know I'm good on the brakes going into Woodcote, and I can get the slipstream. But then the risk with that is the traffic. You know, Malik can get a bit of a slipstream from some of the traffic around him. That will really help him defend going into the last lap. So, yeah, there could be a little bit of tactics here, but also, as well, there could be the luck of the traffic too. Yeah,
the number 32 car, though, back in the lead in the hands of Ray Malik. This car painstakingly built by Captain John Harwood back in 1960 for 6 weeks, with John living off beetroot sandwiches.
We still didn't try them. We still haven't had a chance to get some beetroot sandwiches.
We'll do it after this. If he wins, beetroot sandwiches all round. But Malik still leading out in front in this car that has won many historical races as well. It's won in the wet in Nürburgring as well. It's the Formula Junior race winner in the Formula Junior Championship too. But it is the number 12 of Roach that is unrelenting at the moment. Roach started in 3rd place. Stuart Roach, he's previously raced in his car as well. It was a pale blue colour back then, but it's been restored to its original orange livery and owned for 25 years. So he's well equipped to race this car, battling for the lead. He's fallen a little bit behind, but we've seen how much time you can make up with slipstream on that back straight. Half a second or so the gap, 3.5 minutes remaining as Malik comes into the chicane and gets ready to start another lap of this race. But they've pulled almost another 10 seconds on 3rd place, nearly at 40 seconds now to Waterfield in 3rd in the number 24 Hillwood.
Yeah, so Roach didn't pull much into the back of Malik down that back straight. Even though he did go purple in the final sector, his speed trap was a little bit down. So I wonder if he's just waiting patiently now. He's going to have the lap time, or time remaining, I should say, on his pit board. But his 3rd place now, a little bit of a lonely race for Waterfield at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is the Hillwood Formula Junior 1960 car, front engine, Fiat 1100cc engine, very popular in early front engine Formula Junior cars. The grunt coming from the front part of the car, you can see with a long nose, makes his way across the line and still occupying 3rd place, but the gap now about 45, 46 seconds. But then he in turn has got almost a lap really over 4th place man Morton. Here he is in the number 8. So the field a little bit distilled after the front two. Alex Morton in that number 8. The Condor Ford S2, first of 2 S2 models built with an all-aluminium body and a Ford Anglia engine. Back up in front though, and that gap has not really come down as we have become to expect over the last couple of laps. He's putting over a second clear now with Ray Malik.
Yeah, so it's strange because Roach just seems to be losing a second, well, 6/10 in the 1st sector, nearly a second in that middle sector. So I can't imagine, well, I didn't see any traffic, so maybe he's got some kind of problem there. Not too sure, really. That is particularly strange because he was very quick. He's lost a lot of time to the pace that he was doing before. Yeah, it's now over 3 seconds, so either that's a problem or he's just decided that let's bring this car home. And I wonder, that's the number 7. It's an all-orange car, but don't be fooled, it's the Alexis. But the number 6, Elva of Goodwood Members, looks like it's had a bit of a spin. Can he get that back going again? The number 7 car's fallen all the way down to 20th at the moment, but he gets it back up and running, which is good. Doesn't look like he's had any comings together with the tyre wall, so comes into the chicane very tentatively. Will he stick to the right-hand side? Will he pull into the pits? Let's see. No, he carries on going round and allows the cars behind to come through. And is this a little look at how it happened? All the other cars did a really good job. I just think, wow. Hang on, he's the front car there. How are they all going to avoid him? And they did. So great driving from those behind him. Took avoiding action and went off in all different kinds of directions. Skittles going everywhere, but a good job from those behind. But Malik, he's really got it nailed now out in front. He's nearly matched his fastest lap times. You have another, that's not a spinner, that looks like an unhealthy number 3's putting his hand up, so yeah, clearly a problem there for Justin Fleming.
Yep, raising his hand to notify the drivers around him and the marshals as well. Is that somebody who's just span off too? Is that a 66 potentially? Can't quite see the number there, but it's all starting to unravel for a few of our drivers. I felt sorry for the number 10 just a moment ago, got caught up in the spin. Michael Gans is having to take to the grass more often than he would like to so far, but a little spin into the barriers for somebody further round, but we continue to go, and the clock has timed down, so this should be the final lap as we watch the number 32 of Ray Mallock, who then gets onto the grass and has a spin around on the final lap. Is he going to lose the win? He does. I think the number 12 goes through. He spins round. The car has stopped on the final lap for Ray Mallock. Did he have to get out of the way of some traffic? Either way, a mistake has been made, and that has allowed Roach a clear path through.
Disaster, absolute disaster for Mallock, because he had a good 2. He's got going again, and because he's so far ahead of Tom Waterfield in P3, I think he will be all right for second, but what a disaster. I mean, we're hearing there could be a little bit of oil down somewhere. We've seen, was it the number 3 that had a little bit of a problem when they were raising their hands, unless they've dropped some oil. But it's going to be Roach who's kept it calm and cool, coming home to take the win.
Well, that's what you have to do, isn't it? Through the chicane for one final time for Stuart Roach in the number 12 Formula Junior. The checkered flag should be waving for him. It does, and he takes the win in the Threlfall Cup. Fantastic work after 14 laps for Stuart Roach, and it all came together for him. It looked like it was Ray Mallock's to have in the bag until the very final lap. Perhaps some more out on track, perhaps a mistake. I think there's already a little bit of a shaking of the head, but still a sterling drive, and both of them gapped everybody from 3rd downwards, really. So he will come across the line to secure 2nd place as he limps across in the number 32 U2 Ford Mark II Formula Junior car, and in the end they were over a minute.